In this week's races, I go for a spin in race A. Race B sees race buses, and once again, I'm spinning around. And in race C, let's make it 3 wide. Why not? Hello everyone, and welcome back to a Gran Turismo weekly race guide here in 2023, week 22. And this week is a very bizarre week, I've got to say. First of all, thank you so much to all of you who have subscribed. We've got over that 60% there that you can see. Still 39% of you not subscribed. Please do subscribe to help with the journey to 40k. We're very close to 37,000 now, and I appreciate all the support. Obviously, if you're subscribed, you can stay in touch with all the latest content of Gran Turismo and ACC. Let's get back into the Gran Turismo content. This time, it's the weekly race guide. What are we doing in the background? Well, it's Group 3, and we're at Suzuka. We are doing 5 laps here at Suzuka. It's a rolling start on racing hard tyres with times 1 fuel and tyre wear. Yes, a very strange race A then, because I don't think we've ever had Group 3 in race A. Well, there's time for a first, and here's a first, and we've got another one a bit later on as well. I decided to pick the Nissan, a very varied grid in this race as well. Now, if you want to skip race A and go to race B or C, or just check out the guides, there's some timestamps there for you. However, we don't skip any of this stuff. We give you all the information so you can have some fun with the racing and a guide to help you get that little bit quicker. Let's jump to the first one, race A. Let's have a look at exactly what happens and a lap guide at the end of it. Here we are then at the start. Mixture of cars, as I say. We've got the 650S of Sonic there. Loads of TCR in here. Shout out to everybody a part of TCR. We kick off in the Nissan then, the 18 model, as we head towards turn 1. A few people warming up their tyres because we do have tyre temps in Gran Turismo 7. As we head into turn 1 then, line astern. And it's going to be staying that way, actually, as we go through that right-hander. So we've got the very nice liveried AMG Mercedes there of Mario Sonic up ahead. We've got Hodgson, a part of TCR, of course, there in the McLaren. Then have an SLS in there as well of Ghostly, a bit further up. And then Shelty's Beetle, of course, recognisable there as we go through the S's. You can see here, Dirty having a bit of a factor here. We're having to really slow the car down as we go into the left-hander then and go through that corner. Oh, a bit of oversteer there for Mario Sonic. Keeps it, though, holds it very nicely indeed as we head towards Tidgney 1 and 2 and in towards braking zone we go. Now, do remember, on the first lap here at Suzuka, you're going to get these real sharp braking moments there where everybody just slows up that much more because everybody's closing in that braking zone. The Constantina effect is playing a perfect role there. You can see that. So I take avoiding action here on Mario Sonic, get slight tap from behind just because of that same situation. I'm going to leave that corner here. They give me lots of room on the exits. Thank you to the Italian as we continue on out of there, and then we go towards Spoon then. So into Spoon we go, and it looks like somebody's out. Oh, it's White Tiger's out wide. Unfortunately, White Tiger's actually clipped the grass there, or the AstroTurf, one of the two. It's very slippy out there. Do avoid going out there. And unfortunately, White Tiger is gone there. Mario Sonic also had a bit of oversteer as we have a run on Mario Sonic. I'm not going to go for the move here at 130. I just want to stay in line for now as we then head into this corner then, slowing the car down more than normal here. Got Hodgson out wide there as we head down in towards the Casio triangle then. I see the Porsche going very hard into braking zone, so I'm giving them a bit of room there as we go into the left-hand. They're going to continue on out there. Just a slight tap on my rear quarter and gets me going. And then the Lambo comes and taps me on the other side. Completely unsettles the car, and I nearly end up meeting a barrier there head on, but fortunately I avoid it. As you see from my face and the reaction camera, I wasn't very happy with that, to be honest with you. Quite clearly, you've just literally ignored the fact there's 2 cars there and just planted me. So not the greatest racing there from the German. As we continue on through then, the Austrian driver here going very slowly here, and unfortunately going to completely outbrake themselves, and yeah, they're going to also meet barrier then as we go into the left. That's another position gained, and I would say not last, however they leave, so I am now last once again as we catch up to the German. Now you can see I've got the fastest lap already. I was easily the fastest car in this race in my opinion. I could easily get into the low 201 just quite easily, I found actually. So I was catching everyone very quickly. It's why I didn't give up, because you can always have a chance at redemption, you know, the redemption arc here for Tidge in race A. As we head towards 130R then, the Italians been off here, so I knew they had dirty tyres. I knew they'd be slow through here, and that we get that job done up into P9, and we've got the German next in P8 then. What can we do into the right hander then? Slowing it down nicely. Go, nearly got a penalty then for cutting. I did see it coming, so I sort of straightened up a little bit there as that will leave that corner. Now you're going to see the big difference in speed here between the AMG Mercedes and the Nissan GT GTR, the model year 18 then, as we head down towards turn 1 then. I'm going to start to look on the inside. I wasn't actually planning on going for this move, but it just sort of worked out the way it did, and unfortunately I tapped the German there. That's completely my fault. It's why I completely backed out of it, let the German go and start again. That was my fault completely, 100% my fault, and we continue on with the racing then. And now we can get back into, actually, status quo. So now it's all settled, we can chill and really start to focus. Good catch by the German though, wasn't it? Going through turn 1, they caught it very nicely indeed as we go into the right. And then we're going to head into the left. Unfortunately, they try and carry a bit too much speed then. Head off with a bit of understeer. And unfortunately, they're going to go for a spin. I say they go for a spin. Oh, no, they do hit the fence there. I thought I saved them there with that little bit of contact. Lap 5, the final lap then. In towards the left we go. Going to continue on out of there. The SLS of Ghostly there. Just losing the rear end then, and we're going to get another position. But what you're seeing here is that we do catch up to the train again, and it is a bit of a train, this race, I've got to be honest. Very hard to overtake, dirty air, racing hard tyres. Does mean it's very hard indeed, as you see the German there going to move on Mario Sonic. So we do catch up to the German there, who did tap my other side of the car. I got 201.7 there. I'd say low 201s easily possible, so got the fastest lap at least. And, you know, I was fairly happy with that redemption, as I say. I did manage to improve there. Right, we're going to go towards the track guide then. Let me tell you how to do Suzuka. As we head towards turn 1 then, what you're looking for is either the 50 board or the piece of tarmac on the left-hand side with the racing hard tyres. You can use a painted orange barrier on the far left, but I'm generally trying to brake as late as possible here. And a hard braking and then releasing the brakes, allowing the car to turn a little bit, and then I'm slowing the car here down. I'm trying to maintain 75 miles an hour, as close to that as I can in a Nissan. Obviously, try and pick an apex speed there. As you go into the S's, it's all about letting the car flow through the corner. I actually get that right-hander wrong there. You don't want to be touching the grass, which does compromise my left. I have to slow up a bit more. I'd say it's all about maintaining the speed through here, the balance of the car. So you're just letting off, controlling it with the throttle mainly. Short shift to 4th here, or short shift anyway as you go through this corner. It will stop some power oversteer, and also the front end of MR cars lifting up, so it's very worth a short shift there. As we head towards Tidgney 1, then on the right hand side you have that light there. That's my brake marker here. Or in the race you've got the flag marker there in front of you, which is nice. The 50 is a bit too far in my opinion. You want to clip the curb on the right. Be careful about clipping it too much. The car will lift up. And on the left hand side there we have the Marshall tent. That is my brake marker for Tidgney 2. Okay, as that hits the edge of your screen, you're going to hit the brakes. Now, be careful about running too wide here. It is very slippy out there. So you see I went down second and short shift to third there to get a good run out the corner. You can see that issue there in Sector 1 cost me 2 temps, and I'm slowly bringing it back. As we head towards the hairpin, then on the right-hand side there, you've got the end of the curb. That's your brake marker on racing hard tyres. Literally, as that hits the edge of the screen, hit the brakes, and you're going to want to come down to a very slow speed. Now, be careful on exit. Power oversteer, very common in nearly all cars. MR cars will handle it better, but FR cars will have a lot of power oversteer, so just be very careful there. As we head up towards this left-hander, then on the right-hand side, you've got that tarmac there as it meets the edge of the circuit, of course. And I'm braking just before that gets to the edge of my screen here. You can see I've just gone full on the anchors now. And the whole point here is I clip the curb, I head out to the outside curb, and I come off that curb before the end there, okay? And that's actually a bit of a braking marker there. And you just need to brake a bit harder and make sure I am going to hit the curb on the left-hand side. As you're about to see here, you notice I'm still braking. I release the brakes, and now it's all about balancing the car on exit. Once again, be careful of power oversteer. Group 3 cars in racing hard tyres suffer from it immensely, so just be careful. The 50 board on your right-hand side then is your lift-off marker here. You don't need to brake for 130R unless you're behind somebody with dirty air, but it's just a lift-off when you're not, and you go through here, and again, I'm trying to maintain above 145 as I do there. That's a really good 130R. As we head towards the chicane then, on the right-hand side, you can either use the 100 board there or the yellow line. I love using that yellow line. It's very obvious, very clear to me, and that's the marker I always usually go to. Now, be careful about cutting the chicane. It's very deadly now in terms of the penalties, so I'd avoid just cutting it too much there. 2 wheels is enough there. Continue on out. Again, be careful power oversteer. Head towards the line to finish that lap there. That's a really low 2:01, I believe. Very, very much dead. 2-minute deads are very possible there. Let's head to race B then, where we're in the Toyota Alphard at Monza with no chicane. Yes, you heard that right. It is a full-on meme race this. We're essentially racing vans there, as you see a DHL livery in the background. We're racing 4 laps here at Monza, no chicane. It's a grid start with a false start check, and we're on the sports hard tyres. Bop is on, so there's no tuning here. It's just pick a livery and have some fun with some good old weight transfer. Yes, weight transfer, ladies and gentlemen. Anyway, that is it for me in terms of talking. Let's jump to the race. Let's have a look at exactly what happens. Here we are then at the start. Look at those liveries. We've got a few DHL vans in there. I'm in a TCR livery machine now with the full start check on. Hold the handbrake. That is the best thing to do here. Try to control on one just in case. You know, you never know. Somebody jumps to start behind me there as we release and off we go. So the first thing to do here as you start, look for who is going quicker than you or at least equal speed. So I noticed there Mario Sonic towards that right hand side going a bit quicker. So I'm going to head over there and hopefully bump draft Mario Sonic. I really wish they got rid of horns in this game in racing environments because it is very, very annoying as we go for a bit of bump drafting. Up into P8 then we go, already up 2 positions then. And this is what we've got to be careful about now. You can't see anything behind anybody here. As you see there, Governor on the outside as we go into the right hand. You can see me smiling my head off there as we go up into P7 then as we head towards the first braking zone, and in we go. So you got to pick a place there. The Spaniard broke really early then and going really slow, so I have to go on the outside. Unfortunately, I clipped the grass as I was pushed a bit tight there. I don't know. I'm going to have a look at the bloopers there to fully see what happened, whether it's my fault or whether I did get a slight tap. Very tight anyway, and unfortunately we're down to P last. And you see me smiling my head off all the same because it's a bit of a funny video, isn't it, really? Funny race, should I say. Hopefully a funny video for you if you're actually smiling away as well. Heading in towards the right, this is actually what you do in this vehicle. If you've watched any of that. What? Can you say the film? Mention the film down below in the comments. Probably can't say it due to YouTube stuff. But you get a good run out of corners. That's how you drive this car, okay? It's not about hard braking. It's about maintaining the speed. Remember, it's quite a slow car, to be honest. Even though it's got 6 gears. But you never use 6. You stay in 4th most of it and 5th on the odd time. You look down the inside of the Brit here alongside as we head in towards the left. Unfortunately, they just didn't give me enough room there. And it forces a tap. And I try and take avoiding action because I can see they didn't leave enough room. And unfortunately, I'm going to head down to P15 now. So, yeah, a bit frustrating that. We continue on then. We catch up to Blue 42 Thunder, a part of TCR here, as we go through the right-hander then. And we actually get a bit of a run on the inside there. Not meaning to, but we just turned a little bit more then as we head towards the chicane here. And in we go. So obviously this is normally the second chicane. The first one in this race. As we go into the left, we're going so slowly here. I accidentally cut a little bit too much. And I realised this. You can see me talking to myself there. And now if you look down in that bottom left, look at my reaction. There you go. My reaction. Way, hands up in the air. I'm like, we're going so slowly. Does it really matter? But apparently it does. And we get a 0.5 second penalty as we go on the inside of Blue 42 Thunder. Up ahead, we've also got some penalties there for the Spaniard and also the Brit, who we had an incident with just earlier on at the top of the hill here at Ascari. So we're going to catch DHL fan. I love these liveries. This is going to be great this week, just looking at some of these liveries as we continue then down here, heading towards the Ascari. Despite it gives me a bit of room there. I was trying to decide where to go. So we're going around the outside this time. Quite a deadly attempt here, if I do say so myself. In towards the braking zone we go. We do get past that DHL van then, showing their speed of delivery there, I imagine. To be honest, DHL are not too bad. I've had worse experiences with other companies. Anyway, continuing out of there. Varg there, out there. DHL again. Look at this. DHL falling backwards. What's going on to you there? Right, we're going to then take our penalty, which is not too bad in this car because we're not going too quick here. So we're in the slipstream of Hello Bianco. And at this point in time, I'm like, I'm not going to bump draft you. I'm actually going to go for the overtake then. So down the inside we go. Now, with this car, you are going to have to rev the nuts out of it, okay? You rev the absolute nuts out of it to get the peak performance. And that's what I'm doing here as I'm in 4th gear. You can see I'm still staying in 4th gear. Going into the right. Now, as you turn into the right, you will start to lose speed. So it's worthwhile me staying there. And we get up into P11. So we advance towards the end of lap 3 then, where we catch up to this. We see Hodgson there taking a penalty. Again, you can't see anything. You're just going to hope the cars in front actually react. As we go into the final lap then. 3 wide up ahead. Shelty in the middle in a DHL van. Once again, they get a good advertisement here. It should be a paid sponsorship, this DHL. As we go into the right-hander then. We're going to try around the outside of them then. And we do get it done on Shelty then. Thank you, Shelty, for that. As we head down in towards left. Shelty obviously backed out there because it was a bit unsafe there, 3 wide. And he was being a bit sandwiched. So we're going to really have to slow up here. Everyone trying to race clean then as we go through here. Again, we're going to be going really slowly. Governor cut a lot of the chicane there. Does Governor get a penalty? That is the question. It does indeed. As we're up into P9. Hopefully going to be a P8 here. Now, I didn't mean to try on the outside. It was just where I was at the time as we go full drifting in the Toyota Alphard Executive Lounge, ladies and gentlemen. Executive Lounge. But the Governor going to come back across there. And we're going to go through the right-hander there of Letmo 2 and up towards Ascari. So, I see Shelty going for the move there, and I'm sort of stuck in the middle here, and as we go towards that left-hand side, I'm going to get a bump draft there from behind. So what I'm actually going to do is then give Shelty that little bit of slipstream there. We advance towards the end then. Obviously, we overtake Governor because they had the penalty, and we're actually looking to catch up to Rainbow Jester there as we head towards the line. It's going to be quite a close one here. We are in the slipstream, but unfortunately, we're not going to get it done. So with this one, it's all about weight transfer. You want to brake hard initially and come off the brakes. A lot less trail braking than you realize in this car. In fact, why am I telling you this now? Let's actually jump to the track guide then. Now, here we go. This is normal speed, if you can't tell. But the turn 1 then is flat here. You just need to turn in, and you're going to start to see that speed scrub off there. You can see that drop in the speed. So stay in 4th gear. Only go to 5th gear if you're going above 126 miles an hour in slipstream. As you head towards the first chicane then, it's actually on normal brake markers, believe it or not. So on the right-hand side then, you've got the orange painted barrier just after the 150 board. That is the brake marker here. Now, you actually want to brake just before that hits the edge of your screen, as you see here. And it obviously depends on how much speed you're going to carry here. But you can see here, as I turn in, I cut a little bit of that, and I cut a little bit of this, and continue on through. A clip of the gravel there, nothing major. But even so, you can see that because of a lot less weight transfer, I actually get through the corner much quicker. It's all about managing that weight transfer in this car. A bit like Gran Turismo as a whole, really. On the left-hand side is the 50 board. That is your brake marker for Lesmo 1. It's just after that leaves your screen then. And as you come into here, again, you're trying to balance the car with some speed. So beat it on out of there around 70 miles an hour and continue towards the next 50 board, which is your next brake marker there that I highlight. I'm braking a bit earlier here. I want to sort of cut the inside a little bit. Again, it's all about maintaining the speed through the corner and managing the weight. Remember, this is a very high vehicle, right? So literally the center of gravity is going to be much higher. So you have to keep that in mind with your turning inputs, okay? The more you turn, the more that center of gravity is really going to push over towards the opposite side. As we head towards the Ascari, then it's either the orange painted barrier, which does exist there, but the sun's shining on it at the moment, or the tarmac there, which you can easily see even on bumper cam because you're so high. Now, you can do 3rd or 4th gear for Ascari. Now, I chose 3rd gear here, and as we go to the right, you're going to have to lift off a little bit here so you get a good run on the left. Now, keep it flat going through the left, okay? You want to maintain as much speed as possible down this back straight then as we head towards the Parabolica. On the left-hand side is the 100 boards. Either of them will do, and you're braking just after that. Now, you may get oversteer here because obviously you're going to want to try and brake aggressive into the Parabolica. I brake a bit too late, in my opinion, so you can see there how the weight transfer impacts it. You can get around there without weight transfer and a very smooth line, and that is actually going to be the quickest line to do. Even so, that is a lap in this Toyota Alphard. Enjoy the meme race this week. I think I'm going to do a fair few of them this week because I think it's really, really good fun. That's it for race B, though. Let's head to race C, where we're going to an old track, which is new. Grand Valley Highway 1. So obviously not quite Grand Valley Speedway, but even so, we've got it. Let's experience it. And we're in Group 4 machinery. As you can see, a lot of Ferraris there. We've got Silvias and Lamborghinis. What are we doing here? Well, we are racing 10 laps here at Grand Valley Highway. It's a rolling start. We have the racing medium and hard tyres. Only the hard are required. With Times 3 fuel and tyre wear and bop on, that does mean it's a no-stop hard race, as far as I can tell anyway, especially with the track being very hard to overtake on in the first place. Now, I chose a Ferrari. As you know, the Ferrari is always my go-to car. Let's jump to the race then. Let's have a look exactly what happens, and I'll also give you a lap guide at the very end. Here we are then at the start of the race. Silvia in pole position. Ferrari's in there. We've got Nissan, Subaru, mixture of cars in there. Got Marisonic up ahead in the Oh, hello. Somebody else has just pulled off there in another Silvia. Well, we'll take that. That's one position. And you can see here the Silvia very slow at starting then compared to the Ferrari. Now, we sort of know that from Beat the Meta as well. The Silvia just struggles in the lower gears, but 5th gear is where it's dominant there. As you see, it's coming back at me. But even so, we get past Marisonic. Up 2 positions already before turn 1. Happy days indeed. Now, I apologize if I look extremely tired in this reaction camera because remember, this is the first race of the day I do. In fact, it's the first daily race C available to everybody that I do. As we go into the right, then left. Now, you're going to have to be careful of penalties there as we head down in towards this braking zone. Now, there'll be a lot of carnage into this corner. There always is. Oh, Ghosty got a 0.5. Oh, for that cut. I will explain that cut a little bit later on. But there's going to be lots of crashes into that corner, especially the lower down in terms of the DR you go. So just be careful into that corner. Keep an eye on that rear view and take avoiding action where necessary. Mario Sonic trying around the outside into the inside for the right-hander on the bridge, but unfortunately not getting the job done there. Ghostly then goes towards that right-hand side. Good sportsmanship there from Ghostly as we get a position to up into P10 now as we head in towards the tunnel. I really don't like this tunnel, I've got to be honest. I really miss the old tunnel of Grand Valley Speedway. I think that was far better tunnel. It allowed more overtakes essentially. I think that one's just... it's too tight, in my opinion. Going through here, though. Oh, we're 3 wide there. We've got Spaniard on the left. We've got Blue 42 Thunder on the right in the TCR Living Ferrari. as we go on through then up into P8. They're not too bad of a first lap there, really. What's that, 4 or 5 positions in the first lap? I'll take that. And as we go through the tunnel then, we've got Jindra and Shelty side by side, and we've got Mario Sonic giving me a bit of a bump draft then. So I was like, okay, well, let's do it, folks. We're 2 wide up ahead. Let's make it 3. So down the outside I go. Very dangerous move this as I head in towards turn 1. And Mario Sonic could see what was happening there as well. Backed out of it as well. We all survived because we all raced cleanly and fairly, and it's some beautiful races. So well played to Jindra, Shelty, and Mario Sonic. It was a beautiful racing there as we head towards this left-hander there. Mario Sonic just looking down the inside. Going to be the outside then for this right-hander. You've got to be so careful here. And Mario Sonic gets it nailed then. Beautiful move there from Mario as we head down in towards the hairpin. Now I'm looking at that rear view mirror. I say look at it because look what happens there. A Subaru completely outbrakes itself, tries to take avoiding action, unfortunately takes out Blue 42 Thunder there, and we managed to survive just there with the little tap. So we're in P9 right now. Mario Sonic going defensive then. I'm going to have a look around the outside of this tunnel just to prove that why I don't like this tunnel at all, really, this corner, because it's so hard. It's too tight to go around the outside. As you see, it just pulls back on you there. And Mario Sonic going to keep that position for now. Well defended there by Mario Sonic. Now this corner, I like this bit. This chicane is actually much better now than I've ever felt it being. And I'll explain that a little bit later on because you proper go for it in that chicane. Through the right we go then, and in towards the left. You can see we're still in this fight for P6, and Shelty looking down the inside. Mario Sonic round the outside of Shelty in towards the right-hander. Can Mario Sonic keep that position? That's the question. Shelty gives him room as well. Beautiful racing from both of them as we head in towards the left-hander then. Mario Sonic down the inside, and Shelty backs out of it then, and Mario Sonic up into P7. Well played, Mario. That is a good move again. Shows some good racing craft here, Mario. Really awesome job with these moves as we head in towards the left. Then we have Ghost Leap behind as well after taking that penalty earlier on. So in towards turn 1, lap 5 now. We're halfway through the race. Mario Sonic just gets past Jindra then, and you see we're still in this battle for P6. It's been going on for quite a while. It's very hard to overtake here at Grand Valley. I've got to be honest with you. It's a bit too hard to overtake as we look on Shelty then, and we couldn't really go anywhere there. Through the right we go. Oh, Shelty clipped the little inside there. Oh, may have crossed the white line then. I'm not too sure as I go down the inside. And look, I've outbrought myself. Imagine if that was a bit closer with Jindra. I'd have punted Jindra. So hard to get that corner right sometimes, especially going for a move. But we do get past Shelty then, and we're up into P8. We have made the move stick then, and we have the 2 Lamborghinis behind us then, and we need to catch up to Jindra and Mario Sonic now as we head towards the right-hander. Shelty did get a penalty from that, by the way. Just a heads up as we're on lap 6 now. We're right behind Jindra and Mario Sonic. So we're going to go into here then. So look at this. I'm trying to be as aggressive as possible now. Really try and carry the speed. Not aggressive enough though. Jindra a bit too aggressive. So the opposite ends of the spectrum then. And we are right behind Jindra. So can we get the move done? We are a bit close here as we head into the tunnel, the final corner then. And you want to chuck it right there. I look behind me to really change the lighting there so I can see. But I think we're a bit too close to Jindra. As you can see, Jindra's got the slipstream and Mario Sonic, so we're not gaining now. We're actually losing out a little bit to Jindra. Pull back in then. Oh, a little bit of netcode there. See, I did make a little bit of an adjustment just in case. As we then head towards the right-hander, and in we go. Now, I brake a tiny bit too late here, and I'm going to lean on Jindra a bit too much. So I back out of that, let Jindra go. That's on me, that a little bit. Just leaned a bit too much there. Mario Sonic cut the corner. The famous corner then gets a penalty. And me and Jindra are going to go on by. So I saw this as my opportunity to really get by, because I felt like we were driving a little bit slowly here. I definitely felt like I had low 56s in me, that is for sure. To go into the right-hander then, and then the left. Okay, so here we go. We need to be aggressive again. Watch now. Watch how much more aggressive I was there. Good stuff. Now, here we go. We're a bit further back from Jindra, so we should get a good slingshot action, and this is the best way to overtake, in my opinion, here at Grand Valley Highway. So in we go through the right. You're going to turn straight away as you enter that tunnel, and you will be fine. As we continue on then into 6th gear we go. Mario Sonic then gives me a bit of a bump draft. Thank you, Mario Sonic. Could have made it 3 wide there. Chooses not to, and then going to look to then try and go for the move. Oh, look at that outside then. Mario Sonic in towards the braking zone we go. This time I get the braking right. We stick to that inside line. Beat it on out. Up into P6. Steve, I've got your position safe there, my friend. As we continue into the tunnel. Lap 8 then. So Mario Sonic is 3.5 tenths behind. 5th gear, remember, so strong in that Sylvia. Very much in my slipstream as well. I'm not really in the slipstream-ish of the car ahead. You see Mario Sonic coming at me very, very quickly. I decided not to defend this, okay, as we go in towards that left, and then in towards the braking zone we go. And you can see there, it turned out to be the right decision. Mario Sonic looking down the inside. We give them just enough room there. Continue on out of the corner. and we carry on. So we're down into the low 57s. I'd say that was with the inside line earlier on, and here we are, lap 9 then, and we've pulled much closer to turbochargers than obviously you saw the start lap 9 earlier. This is the end. You see how much we're pushing on now as we go into the tunnel. Through we go, and we are in that slipstream of the Supra. You've seen how dominant the slipstream is going to be now as we head to start the final lap here at Grand Valley Highway. And you can see now we're getting closer. Oh, we are in the 56s, in fact. There's definitely low 56s earlier on in the race. Obviously, tyre wear having a bit of an impact now. Looking down the inside of the Toyota Supra of turbochargers then. We get it stopped, we get it done, and through we go up into P5. Thank you very much for that. Beautiful racing there with turbochargers, and that was the end of that. We actually dropped them and just legged it. Absolutely legged it there. And that is the end of the race, finishing in P5 in the end. We definitely had some pace there, that is for sure. I'm not sure what is going to be the meta car. I think the 458 is going to be up there. The Sylvia is probably still going to be up there, to be honest with you, as it's very good on its tyre wear. Right, lap guide time then as we head towards turn 1. What you're looking for here is you can look at the 200 board, but you can see where the line goes straight there as it stops turning. That is actually my brake marker here, okay? I use that and it's a really nice brake marker. So I'm looking to really slow the car down. Sometimes you go a bit wide here. It's absolutely fine. You can V it. And on the right hand side there, as the sand turns into concrete, that is my accelerating marker, okay? I love that marker. I know some of you always go, show us all the accelerating markers. I show you them when I can show you them, you know? I only have a few markers here and there and everywhere, and when I do have them, I will always point them out for you. Heading down here then, you are going to want to slightly lift. Now, the fastest laps in the world will not lift here. They will just about do it. But I would advise a lift there just to avoid the penalty on that corner. It's that left-hander particularly where you'll get the penalty. As you head down here, though, you're braking before the 300 board on the left-hand side, okay? And you're going to want to brake hard, really hard. Now, this is obviously where most crashes are going to happen. You do want to take a tight line, to be honest with you. You can see how the car turns there. And literally, I always lift off a little bit. I don't think you have to, but it seems like it's just a natural instinct to lift off a little bit to make sure you get round. Now, as you go into this double left, I use that concrete barrier on the right-hand side as a bit of a lift-off marker, okay? That's sort of my turn-in lift-off here, so I'm trying to control the speed at this point. Now, that first white block there on the right side, that's the point where I need to turn in for the next corner, okay? It's my turning point, so I start to brake harder and really make sure the car starts to turn in. And as you see there, we do that very nicely. You can be really aggressive through this right, more aggressive than I was there. Now, for this right-hander, it's very hard to get a brake marker, okay? I actually use the yellow sign, but I always highlight the bridge there on the left. As that hits the edge of your screen, you can turn in and brake. But like literally, you want to really turn in quite tight here to give you a good run on the left-hand side. The end of that little pillar of gravel there, or rock on the left-hand side, is my brake marker. You can use the yellow barrels as well with the marshals, but I use that more now as I clip the left and then try and beat it out of here as quick as you can. Be careful about running too wide. There are penalties there as well. Heading through the tunnel then and towards the left-hander. On the right-hand side, you've got that 100 board there. That is my brake mark here. I'm going to brake in a straight line, in fact. So you can see how the darker part of the circuit is there. You want to brake in a straight line towards this corner, okay? And as you see there, I brake in a straight line, and then I'm just looking to slow the car down and really try and pull the car back, get a good run on the right-hander here. You don't have to go fully towards the left. As I go through here, what you're looking for then is that sign there. That's my accelerating marker. You got two here. How about that, folks? So when I see that, obviously the earlier you see it, you can try and start pushing yourself, but as it gets close to your screen, you really, really want to be at full throttle at that point as we continue across the bridge now. This next corner, you want to brake earlier than you realize, really, for this corner, okay? So what you're looking for on the left-hand side is the 100 board or the end of the barrier, and you really want to be braking early, okay? The earlier the better, because it's so tight, the tightest line is the fastest line. No V-shape or anything like that. The tightest line is the fastest line. Even this is not tight enough. I need to bring it back very nicely, okay? Keep it far to the right to then come into the left. Be careful of those bollards there, and be careful of any bollards here, and be fully aggressive through that whole chicane. I love that chicane, actually. It's really nice. But those bollards, if you clip them, it's a penalty, okay? It's a track limit penalty, so just be careful. But yeah, really attack the chicane, and you will be golden here at Grand Valley. That is it in terms of the track guide, and now it's time, folks, for the bloopers. Right, first up then, let's have a look at exactly what happened to White Tiger in race A. Oh, just out on the slippy stuff, a bit too deep, and it's so hard to come back from that because this is exactly what happens. You go for a spin there in the TCR Porsche. Right, here we go with the big incident in race A, in my opinion. Going through here, side-by-side action with the Italian, and then you see that slight tap on the rear quarter, and then we get another tap there from the Lamborghini. So yeah, the Lamborghini I'm not too sure about. The Italian definitely tried to avoid that, which is fair enough, but the German, all right, that was just bad driving in my opinion. Now, bad driving from my part this time here. So we're going to head in towards turn 1, and you see that it's just the case that they braked a little bit earlier than I did, and yeah, that causes the contact. Completely my fault though, which is why I gave the position back. Right, race B then. What exactly happened here? So we had a slow Spaniard up ahead, and then I went 3 wide. Here we go. You see them slow down then. And then, oh, they just turned right a little bit there. Okay. So my wheel touched the grass from the slight movement from the Spaniard. Now, it was always very risky to go down the outside anyway. And I was gone at that point. So, yeah, that's what happened there. So, no one's real fault there, to be honest with you. Right, as we head up towards the Scari then with the Brit. Oh, they're really on the brakes there. Oh, they released the brakes as well. So, coming into the left. And then, yeah, just didn't give me enough room there, in my opinion. There was definitely room for 2 wide still through there. So that's the result of that one. Nothing major, though, there, to be honest with you. Now we have the one we zoomed in the rear view mirror for. Squared through the left-hander then. As we head down towards the braking zone. Oh, they just missed it. I did that, if you remember, in the previous Grand Valley race. You just miss the brake board completely and you go a bit too deep. And then they hit TCR player. 3-second penalty there, though. So is that right? I'm not too sure because nobody died, but it was very close. Going into here then, the right-hander. You can just see I went a tiny bit too deep, which is why I gave Jindra the position back. Nothing major there, really, and I'm sure Jindra saw that as well. So, yeah, that's what happened there. A tiny bit too late on the brakes. Only a tiny bit, but I had to give the position back. And that is it in terms of this week's weekly race guide. I do hope you enjoyed it, folks. As I say, we are on the journey to 40,000 subscribers. 37 is very close now, so if you're not subscribed, please do subscribe. Give it a like on the way out, and there are 2 videos there to check out, including the latest Beat the Meta video. Well worth a watch. Thank you once again, and I hope to see you in another video or live stream again very soon.